Imagine this. The first light of dawn gently caresses the earth, the world still wrapped in silence, and the air carries a crisp promise of endless possibilities. It's a brand new day, a blank canvas waiting for you to paint your intentions, your joy, your peace. Yet, how often do we rush through these sacred moments? How often do we let them slip away unnoticed, consumed by the noise of our busy minds? Here, on the Dharma Blossom, we invite you to pause, to breathe, and to rediscover the beauty of these fleeting moments. This morning is your gateway, a doorway to transformation, where the simple act of connecting with yourself can ripple through your entire day. Together, let's explore the profound power of morning meditation, a practice that grounds us in gratitude, centers our hearts, and awakens the boundless potential within. So, find a quiet space, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to be fully present. This is your time. Let's begin. In a world spinning with ceaseless activity, endless notifications, and the hum of modern life, stillness can seem like a rare gem hidden beneath the chaos. Yet, as a meditation teacher who has spent decades guiding others on their journey inward, I can tell you this: stillness is not merely the absence of movement. It is a profound presence, a sanctuary within that can ground us, open our awareness, and reconnect us to the core of our being. Stillness, more than silence. Stillness isn't about retreating from life or escaping our responsibilities. It's about creating a space where we can meet life as it is. Many people mistakenly think stillness is passive, but in truth, it's one of the most active and courageous states of being. It requires us to pause amidst the noise, to sit with discomfort, and to face our restless minds. This act of stopping and being is where transformation begins, the wisdom hidden in stillness. When we embrace stillness, we begin to notice the subtleties of life that often go unnoticed in our rush. The gentle rhythm of our breath, the soft hum of the world around us, the spaces between our thoughts, these become our anchors. Stillness invites us to witness, rather than react. It teaches us that clarity and calm are not dependent on our external circumstances but are choices we can cultivate within ourselves. I often tell my students, stillness is like the surface of a lake. When the winds of distraction settle, the water becomes clear, and we can see to the bottom. In that clarity, we reconnect with our intentions, values, and purpose. We remember who we are beneath the layers of busyness. For those new to this practice, here are some gentle steps to begin your journey into stillness. Create a dedicated space. Find a quiet corner in your home where you can sit undisturbed. It doesn't have to be elaborate, a simple chair or cushion will do. Set a timer. Start with just 5 minutes. Over time, you can gradually increase the duration as you feel comfortable. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Notice the inhale and exhale without trying to change it. Let your breath be your anchor. Acknowledge your thoughts. When your mind wanders, and it will, simply acknowledge the thought and gently return to your breath. Think of it as training a puppy, patient and kind. Be consistent. The benefits of stillness unfold with regular practice. Even a few minutes each day can make a profound difference. Over the years, I've witnessed countless individuals transform their lives through the power of stillness. One student, a single mother juggling 2 jobs, came to me desperate for a way to manage her stress. She began with just 3 minutes of stillness each morning. Within weeks, she reported feeling more grounded and patient, even during chaotic moments. It's like finding an oasis in the desert, she said. Modern research supports what meditation practitioners have known for centuries: stillness changes us on a physiological level. Studies show that mindfulness practices can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve mental clarity. Neuroscientists have found that moments of stillness activate the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and repair. But beyond the science, there's a personal truth that resonates deeply: stillness reconnects us with what it means to be human. In a world that often demands we do more, stillness reminds us that being is enough. Stillness doesn't have to be confined to a meditation cushion. Here are ways to weave it into your daily routine. Pause before transitions. Take a moment of stillness before moving from one task to the next. Whether it's before a meeting or after completing an email, a brief pause can reset your mind. Mindful moments in nature. Spend time in nature without distractions. Listen to the rustling leaves, feel the breeze on your skin, and let the natural stillness of the environment seep into you. Evening reflection. Before bed, sit quietly and reflect on your day. Let go of any lingering stress and embrace the quiet of the night. Stillness is both an art and a practice. It's not something we achieve but something we cultivate. It's a gift we give ourselves, a moment to pause, to breathe, to reconnect. In stillness, we find clarity. In clarity, we find peace. And in peace, we find the courage to live fully. So, I invite you to take a moment, right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let yourself settle into stillness. What do you notice? What do you feel? Beneath the noise of the world, there is a quiet wisdom waiting for you. And it begins with just one breath. Breath as a bridge, unlocking the path to inner peace. In the ever-turning wheel of modern life, there's a rhythm that remains constant, steady, and unfaltering: our breath. It is the first thing we experience when we enter this world and the last as we leave it. And yet, for most of us, it is something we take for granted, rarely stopping to notice its profound influence on our minds, bodies, and spirits. As a meditation teacher with decades of experience, I can tell you with absolute certainty that our breath is far more than a mere biological function. It is a bridge, a powerful connection between the external chaos of the world and the inner sanctuary of peace within. The breath, a constant companion. The beauty of the breath lies in its simplicity. It's always with us, requiring no tools, no preparation, and no expertise. Yet, despite its omnipresence, how often do we truly pay attention to it? For many, the breath operates like background music, barely noticed but undeniably essential. But when we choose to shift our awareness to this subtle rhythm, something extraordinary begins to happen. The act of mindful breathing transforms the mundane into the miraculous. Breath is more than oxygen fueling the body, it is a reflection of life itself. It mirrors our emotions, fluctuating with stress, fear, excitement, or calm. In anger, our breath becomes rapid and shallow. In sadness, it may feel heavy. In joy, it flows freely. By tuning into this rhythm, we gain a gateway to self-awareness, learning to observe and gently influence our mental and emotional states. In meditation, we often talk about the importance of living in the present moment. The breath is the perfect tool for this because it only exists in the now. You cannot breathe in the past or the future, you can only breathe in this moment. Each inhale grounds us in the here and now, inviting us to let go of regrets about yesterday and worries about tomorrow. Have you ever noticed how your breath feels when you're lost in thought? Often, it becomes shallow and erratic, as if mirroring the scattered nature of your mind. By contrast, when you're fully present, watching a sunset, laughing with a friend, or simply enjoying a cup of tea, your breath flows naturally, steady, and full. This is no coincidence. Our breath reflects our state of being, and by consciously engaging with it, we can begin to influence that state. If you're new to the idea of using breath as a tool for inner peace, let me guide you through some practical techniques that can help you connect with its power. The 4-7-8 technique. This method is a simple yet effective way to calm the nervous system. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts, hold the breath for 7 counts, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts. Repeat this cycle 4 times. This technique is particularly useful during moments of stress or before sleep. Box breathing. Often used by athletes and high-performing professionals, box breathing involves inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts, and holding again for 4 counts. Visualize drawing a square in your mind as you breathe, anchoring your attention to the rhythm. Breath awareness meditation. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Begin to notice your breath as it flows in and out. Don't try to control it, simply observe. Pay attention to where you feel the breath most distinctly, in your nostrils, your chest, or your abdomen. When your mind wanders, gently return your focus to the breath. Sighing is release. Sometimes, a simple sigh can be transformative. Take a deep inhale through your nose, then release it with a long, audible sigh. Let the exhale carry away tension, frustration, or fatigue. Over the years, I've witnessed countless students discover the life-changing power of mindful breathing. One story that stands out is of a young woman named Sarah, who came to me seeking relief from chronic panic attacks. She described feeling trapped in her body, overwhelmed by waves of fear that seemed to strike without warning. Through breathwork, Sarah learned to recognize the early signs of her anxiety. By practicing slow, deliberate breathing during these moments, she found she could stop the panic in its tracks. Over time, her attacks became less frequent and less intense. It's like finding a reset button, she told me. My breath reminds me that I'm safe. Another story is of an executive named Michael, who struggled with burnout from his demanding career. He began incorporating mindful breathing into his daily routine, using the 4-7-8 technique before meetings and during moments of overwhelm. Within weeks, he reported feeling more focused and resilient. It's amazing how something so simple can make such a big difference, he said. The power of breath isn't just anecdotal, it's backed by science. Studies have shown that slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the body's rest and digest response. This reduces heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and decreases levels of stress hormones like cortisol. Breathwork has also been found to increase oxygen flow to the brain, enhancing cognitive function and emotional regulation. It's no wonder that ancient traditions across the globe, from yoga to qigong, have long revered the breath as a cornerstone of health and spirituality. Integrating breath awareness into daily life. The beauty of breathwork is its accessibility. You don't need a quiet room or special equipment, you can practice it anytime, anywhere. Here are a few suggestions for integrating breath awareness into your daily life. Morning reset. Begin your day with 5 minutes of mindful breathing. This sets a tone of calm and clarity for the hours ahead. Mindful commutes. Use your drive or commute as an opportunity to focus on your breath, turning what might feel like wasted time into a moment of mindfulness. Breathing breaks. Throughout your day, take short, breathing breaks. Pause for a minute or two to center yourself with intentional breaths. The breath is our constant companion, a bridge that connects us to the present moment, to our inner selves, and to the world around us. It is a tool for grounding, healing, and transformation. In the midst of life's challenges, let your breath be your anchor. It reminds you that no matter how turbulent the storm, you have a refuge within. So, take a moment now. Close your eyes, inhale deeply, and exhale slowly. Feel the life coursing through you with each breath. This is your bridge, a path to calm, clarity, and connection. Walk it with intention, and let it guide you home. Morning's unique energy, embracing the dawn of possibility. Today, we focus on the profound energy of the morning, a time that carries unparalleled potential for renewal, intention, and gratitude. The morning is a sacred time. There's something undeniably magical about the early hours of the day. The morning is when the world seems to exhale, shaking off the remnants of the night and preparing itself for new beginnings. As the first rays of sunlight cast their golden glow across the horizon, it's as though nature herself is whispering, "This is your chance to start anew." In my decades of teaching meditation, I've always emphasized the morning as a sacred time. It's a blank slate, untouched by the weight of the day's demands. It's a moment when the mind, still quiet from the night's rest, is most receptive to setting intentions and embracing gratitude. The symbolism of morning light. The morning sun is more than a source of light, it's a symbol of hope, possibility, and growth. Think of how plants turn toward the sun, reaching for its warmth and energy. In the same way, we too can orient ourselves toward the light of possibility each morning. The new day doesn't just happen to us, it invites us to co-create with it, to bring our intentions into its unfolding. One story that I often share is of a dear friend who transformed her life through a simple morning practice. She was someone who, like many of us, often felt burdened by the challenges and demands of daily life. One day, she decided to start a morning gratitude ritual. Each morning, before doing anything else, she would write down 3 things she was grateful for, no matter how small. At first, her entries were modest. The smell of coffee, a comfortable bed, the sound of birds outside my window. But as days turned into weeks, her perspective began to shift. She started noticing beauty in the ordinary and abundance where she once saw lack. Gratitude became her lens, and the energy of her mornings spilled over into the rest of her day. Creating your morning ritual. To harness the unique energy of the morning, consider creating a ritual that resonates with you. Here are some ideas to inspire your practice. Gratitude journaling. Like my friend's practice, spend a few moments writing down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be monumental. Sometimes, the smallest joys have the most profound impact. Morning meditation. Dedicate 5 to 10 minutes to sitting in stillness. Focus on your breath, set an intention for the day, or simply bask in the quiet energy of the morning. Sunrise observation. Step outside or sit by a window to watch the sunrise. Allow its beauty to remind you of life's impermanence and the gift of a new beginning. Affirmations and intentions. Speak or write affirmations that align with your values and goals. For example, today, I choose to approach challenges with patience and compassion. Mindful movement. Engage in gentle yoga, stretching, or even a mindful walk. Moving your body with intention can awaken your energy and align your mind and body. The energy we cultivate in the morning doesn't just stay confined to those early hours, it ripples out into the rest of our day. When we begin with gratitude, mindfulness, or intention, we're more likely to approach challenges with grace, interact with others with kindness, and end the day with a sense of fulfillment. One of my students once shared how her morning practice transformed her relationship with her children. She started waking up 15 minutes earlier to meditate and reflect before the chaos of the school run began. I used to feel rushed and stressed, she said, but now, I'm calmer, and I can be more present for my kids. At the Dharma Blossom, we often say, the morning is a mirror. What you bring to it reflects back throughout the day. If you bring gratitude, the day reflects abundance. If you bring intention, the day unfolds with purpose. If you bring mindfulness, the day is imbued with presence. As part of our community, I invite you to join me in embracing the morning's unique energy. Whether through a structured practice or simply a moment of quiet reflection, let's honor this sacred time together. Each morning, the world offers us a gift, a chance to begin again. The first light of day reminds us that life is ever-changing, ever-renewing. What we do with this gift is up to us. Will we rush past it, or will we pause to acknowledge its beauty and possibility? As you step into tomorrow morning, take a moment to breathe deeply, feel the light on your face, and whisper a silent thank you. Let the morning's unique energy guide you, inspire you, and remind you of the endless potential within each new day. And remember, as always, the light within you is as boundless as the morning sun. May it shine brightly, today and every day. Setting intentions with a beginner's mind, a path to transforming relationships. In life, we often find ourselves stuck in patterns, whether in our thoughts, actions, or relationships. We approach situations carrying the baggage of past experiences, expectations, and judgments. While this is human nature, it can close us off to the richness of the present moment. A beginner's mind offers an alternative. It asks us to see the world, and the people in it, as if for the first time. When combined with the practice of setting intentions, a beginner's mind becomes a powerful tool for fostering understanding, compassion, and growth. It allows us to navigate life's challenges and relationships with greater clarity and openness. Let's delve deeper into how this concept can reshape the way we live and connect with others. The nature of the beginner's mind. A beginner's mind is one free of preconceptions, a mindset that views each moment as a blank slate. Imagine a painter standing before a fresh canvas, unburdened by past mistakes or future expectations. They are entirely present, open to what may unfold. Similarly, when we engage with life from this perspective, we create space for authenticity and possibility. In relationships, the beginner's mind asks us to set aside our stories about others. We might think we know how someone will react, what their intentions are, or why they behave a certain way. These assumptions often act as barriers, preventing real understanding. But when we approach others with curiosity rather than certainty, we invite new possibilities into the interaction. The role of intentions in daily life. Intentions are like inner guideposts. Unlike goals, which focus on outcomes, intentions focus on how we want to show up in the world. They are rooted in values rather than achievements. For example, instead of intending to win an argument, we might set the intention to communicate with kindness and understanding. This subtle shift reorients our actions toward connection rather than division. By pairing a beginner's mind with clear intentions, we create a practice that allows us to break free from habitual reactions. We replace defensiveness with curiosity, judgment with empathy, and control with openness. Let me share a story from my own life, one that demonstrates the profound impact of this practice. Years ago, I found myself in a cycle of conflict with a close family member. Every conversation seemed to end in frustration, and I carried resentment into each new interaction. I had convinced myself that I knew how they would respond, and this belief shaped my tone, words, and actions. One morning, during my meditation practice, I decided to try something different. I set the intention to approach our next conversation with a beginner's mind. I reminded myself that I didn't truly know their perspective, that I might have misunderstood their feelings or motivations. Instead of preparing arguments, I resolved to listen with curiosity and compassion. When we finally spoke, I noticed a profound shift. By setting aside my assumptions, I allowed myself to truly hear their words. For the first time, I saw their frustration not as an attack but as a reflection of their own pain. This realization opened a space for empathy, and our conversation flowed in a way it never had before. What began as an intention to approach with openness became a breakthrough moment in our relationship. The ripple effect of beginner's mind and intentions. When we bring a beginner's mind and intentionality to our interactions, the effects ripple outward. These practices not only transform individual relationships but also influence how we engage with the world. Here are a few examples of how this dynamic unfolds. In professional settings. Imagine approaching a challenging colleague with the intention of understanding their perspective rather than proving your own. By listening with curiosity, you might uncover shared goals or insights that lead to collaboration rather than conflict. In friendships. Long-standing friendships often carry unspoken assumptions. By setting the intention to see a friend as if for the first time, we open ourselves to discovering new layers of their personality and deepening our connection. In parenting. Parents often carry expectations for how their children should behave or achieve. A beginner's mind allows us to see our children as they are in the moment, fostering acceptance and unconditional love. Practical steps for cultivating intentions with a beginner's mind. Bringing this practice into your daily life doesn't require drastic changes, only small, consistent shifts in perspective. Here are some steps to get started. Pause and reflect. Before engaging in a challenging conversation or task, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, what assumptions am I carrying into this situation? What would it look like to approach this with a beginner's mind? Set daily intentions. Each morning, take a few moments to reflect on how you want to show up during the day. Write down 1 or 2 intentions, such as, I will practice patience during meetings, or I will approach my partner with empathy. Practice active listening. During conversations, focus on truly hearing the other person. Notice when your mind begins to form judgments or responses, and gently bring your attention back to their words. Release the need to control outcomes. A beginner's mind doesn't cling to specific results. Remind yourself that the goal is not to change the other person or win, but to engage authentically. Reflect and refine. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect. How did your intentions shape your actions? Where did you succeed? Where could you bring more openness next time? Beginner's mind beyond relationships. While this practice is transformative in relationships, its applications extend to all areas of life. A beginner's mind can help us approach challenges with creativity, see opportunities where we once saw obstacles, and rediscover joy in the mundane. For instance, in creativity, many artists and writers speak of beginner's luck, a state of uninhibited creativity that often diminishes with experience. A beginner's mind helps us reclaim that freedom by letting go of self-imposed limits. In personal growth, when we approach self-improvement with rigid expectations, we often set ourselves up for disappointment. A beginner's mind encourages us to see growth as a journey rather than a destination. In mindfulness practice, even experienced meditators can fall into routines. Approaching each meditation session as if it were your first keeps the practice fresh and alive. A beginner's mind, paired with clear intentions, is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves and others. It allows us to meet life with openness and curiosity, free from the weight of past experiences or the pressure of future outcomes. In relationships, it fosters understanding and compassion. In daily life, it invites discovery and joy. The next time you find yourself in a moment of tension, pause. Take a breath. Remind yourself, I don't know everything about this person or this situation. What can I learn here? With this mindset, even the most familiar interactions can become opportunities for growth and connection. Let us carry this practice forward together, planting the seeds of intention and nurturing them with the openness of a beginner's mind. Through this, we not only transform our own lives but also contribute to a world filled with greater understanding, empathy, and peace. As we reflect on setting intentions with a beginner's mind, we uncover a simple truth. Intentions, no matter how pure, must be followed by action to create meaningful change. It's one thing to aspire to patience, generosity, or compassion. It's another to express those values in the real world. Intentions are like seeds, but it is through action that they grow into trees that provide shade for others. This brings us to the heart of service, a practice that takes our intentions and transforms them into tangible contributions. When we ask ourselves, what contribution will I make today? We bridge the gap between thought and action, moving from internal reflection to external impact. Service doesn't require grand gestures. Even the smallest acts can ripple outward, touching lives in profound and unexpected ways. What contribution will I make today? The simple question, what contribution will I make today, challenges us to look beyond our individual needs and think about the impact we can have on the world around us. It's not about grand gestures or life-altering projects. True service often lies in the small, consistent acts of kindness that ripple outward in ways we may never fully see. These actions, though seemingly modest, carry the potential to inspire, uplift, and create a chain of positivity. Take, for example, my neighbor who picks up litter during her morning walks. It's a simple act, done without fanfare, yet its impact is far-reaching. Her quiet commitment to a cleaner environment encourages others in the neighborhood to be more mindful of their own actions. This is the essence of service. A willingness to notice what needs care and to act without expecting recognition. Awareness and action. Service begins with awareness, a willingness to see the needs around us, and is brought to life through action. Awareness asks us to be present and attentive, to notice the small ways we can contribute to the well-being of others. Action, on the other hand, requires courage. It asks us to step beyond our routines, even briefly, to make a difference. Together, awareness and action form the foundation of a life lived in service. Imagine a young child experiencing snow for the first time. Their wide eyes, the cautious way they reach out to touch it, and their uncontrollable laughter embody pure wonder. This childlike curiosity reminds us to approach life with openness and awe, to see beauty and opportunity where we might have overlooked them. In service, adopting this perspective changes everything. Instead of viewing acts of kindness as obligations, we can see them as opportunities for connection. For example, when helping an elderly neighbor carry groceries, imagine the story of their day, the challenges they've faced, the memories they carry. This perspective transforms a mundane task into an act of empathy and shared humanity. The ripple effect of service. A colleague once shared how a single day of service changed the trajectory of her life. She volunteered at a local shelter, initially seeing it as a one-time commitment. During her shift, she met a woman whose resilience and determination in the face of hardship struck a chord. The encounter prompted her to reflect on her own priorities and eventually inspired her to pursue a career in social work. This story highlights how service not only benefits the recipient but also deeply impacts the giver. A single act of kindness can spark profound personal transformation, planting seeds of purpose and fulfillment. During a particularly difficult year, I started a gratitude jar. Each evening, I would write down one positive moment from the day, small things, like the warmth of the sun on my face or a kind word from a friend. Over time, revisiting these notes revealed the quiet beauty of my life and the abundance that surrounded me, even in challenging times. Gratitude naturally leads to service. When we recognize the gifts in our own lives, we're inspired to share them with others. This could be as simple as offering a listening ear to someone who needs it, cooking a meal for a neighbor, or volunteering time to support a cause we care about. Gratitude fuels a sense of interconnectedness, reminding us that we all have something to give. Practical steps to make service a daily commitment. Start small. Service doesn't require monumental effort. Look for simple ways to contribute each day, a kind word, a small favor, or a moment of attentiveness. Be consistent. The impact of service often lies in consistency. Like my neighbor who picks up litter daily, it's the regular, small acts that create lasting change. Integrate service into your routine. Identify opportunities for service in your everyday life. For example, while waiting in line, you might offer a compliment to the cashier. On your commute, you could let someone merge into traffic with a smile. Practice active listening. One of the greatest acts of service is simply being present for others. Listen without judgment, offering your full attention to those who need to be heard. Reflect and adjust. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect. What contribution did I make today? This reflection helps you recognize your efforts and identify new opportunities for service tomorrow. Service as a way of life. When we make service a daily commitment, it becomes more than an action, it becomes a way of life. Each moment, each interaction, holds the potential for kindness and generosity. By embracing service, we contribute to the collective well-being of our communities, creating a world rooted in compassion and connection. Service doesn't demand perfection, only presence. It asks us to show up, to care, and to act in ways that honor our shared humanity. Whether through small gestures or significant commitments, the practice of service enriches not just the lives of others but also our own, bringing deeper meaning and fulfillment to our days. Embracing the potential of today. As we gently return from this moment of reflection, let us carry with us the quiet wisdom of these simple practices. Each morning gifts us a blank slate, a new beginning to shape with our intentions, our breath, and our actions. It is an opportunity to pause and choose how we wish to meet the world, with gratitude instead of indifference, with curiosity instead of judgment, and with purpose instead of passivity. The smallest steps, a deep breath, a moment of stillness, or an act of kindness, can ripple outward, transforming not just our day, but the way we live our lives. These practices remind us of the immense power within us to cultivate peace, connection, and meaning. As the poet Gail Forman so beautifully said, anything can happen in just one day. Today is that day. It is your chance to connect with yourself, create something meaningful, and contribute to the world around you. So, as you step into the rhythm of life, ask yourself, what will I choose to create today? Will it be a gesture of kindness, a moment of mindfulness, or a new intention to guide you? Whatever it is, may it bring light to your path and those around you. Thank you for joining me here at the Dharma Blossom. Until next time, may your days be filled with purpose and your heart steady with peace. Breathe deeply, live fully, and remember, the potential for transformation is always within you.